Good morning. Welcome to day 21. We're officially 3 weeks into this 30-day challenge. Today is a full body stretch, so very little strength or effort required in this class. We're just going to do poses and movements that feel really good, that open us up from head to toe so that we can be a little bit more comfortable and at ease heading into our day. Let's begin in child's pose. So you can bring the big toes together to touch. And we're actually going to be going from child's pose to cobra. So reaching your arms out in front of you, we're going to inhale, lift all the way up, and you can drop the hips down, open through your chest, so undulating like a wave, and then exhale, pressing yourself back. And you might not be resting the hips all the way down to the heels. So inhale, rocking all the way forward, bending the elbows into this cobra pose. Exhale, pressing it back. Big stretch, 3 more like this. And taking 2 more. So getting the motion through the spine. And pressing back. Last one. And we'll hold our child's pose this time, maybe widen the knees a little bit more. Walking the hands out, folding down. 5 deep breaths here in this pose. We'll set ourselves up in tabletop so that we can come to thread the needle, stretching through our upper back a little bit more. Hands under shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Reach your right arm up to the sky, open wide, and then thread that arm underneath you. Shoulder and ear come down to the floor, and I'm going to reach my left arm up overhead, keeping the palm flat to the mat, and then push out a little bit more into your right hip, so that you're not twisting and letting the hips drop all the way over to the left. We're really just trying to keep our hips over our knees, focusing this on our upper back. The further you reach that right arm underneath you, and the more you can kind of push that arm into the ground, the more you'll feel this between your shoulder blades. And let's slide that left hand back, press and lift, re-extend that right arm up. Might be easier now, second time around. And we'll release, switching sides. Left arm extends up and thread it through. Straighten the right arm up overhead. And now this time, realign your hips over your knees by pushing into your left hip a little bit. Drawing up through the lower belly so there's a little bit of abdominal engagement. Slide your right hand back, push the palm into the floor to lift up. Left arm stretches up overhead and release it down. We'll come into a side low lunge, so it's almost like a kneeling warrior 2. You're gonna step your right foot forward and then pivot so that you have your left shin parallel with the shorter edge of your mat. You're gonna bend into that right knee and use your hand to push the thigh open a little bit wider, melting those hips forward and down. So big inner thigh stretch. And now go ahead and straighten the right leg, turn the toes in so you also have your front foot parallel to the shorter edge of your mat. Left arm stretches up and over into your gate pose. Finding your counter stretch, lift up, left hand comes down to the mat. Right arm extends up overhead. And now reach the right arm up towards the sky. Lean a little bit so that you can point the toes and lift the right leg off the mat. You can bend into your right knee and maybe hold here, or see if you can grab a hold of the foot behind you. Kicking the foot into the palm, really big side body stretch here, getting into the hips. And we'll release. So I'm just going to come through to kneeling, facing the front of the mat, and we'll find our side low lunge on the second side. So left foot steps forward, my knee is over my ankle, and I'm going to bring my right toes back. So aligning my shin to the back of the mat, right hand to your hip, press those hips forward and make sure you're pressing that left knee open towards the little toe. Staying tall and lifted through your spine. Let's straighten the left leg, turn those toes in, gate pose, right arm extends up and over. And find that counter stretch by letting the right hand come down to the mat. Left arm reaches up overhead, bicep along the ear. And we'll bring the left arm straight up towards the sky, point through your left toes so that you can shift the body weight and lift that left leg up. Start to bend into the knee and see if you can catch a hold of the foot, kicking the foot into the hand. So we're arching through the back. Carefully release from kneeling. We'll find downward facing dog. So facing the front of the mat, palms shoulder width distance apart, feet are hip width distance apart, lift it up. And we'll undulate through the spine here, going from down dog into like a variation of plank pose. So lift your heels up and ripple all the way forward like a wave. And once you're in plank, bend the knees and undulate all the way back. A few more times like this. So inhale and exhale. Let's do one more. And sending it back, downward facing dog. Let's walk our hands to the back of the mat, and we're going to roll all the way up to stand, pushing into the heels as we lift ourselves up. And we'll step the feet wide, coming into a wide-legged forward fold, so both feet parallel to the shorter edges of your mat. Roughly, if you had your arms opened up, you kind of want to have your feet underneath the hands. And we can bring hands to the hips, lift and lengthen, and then exhale, hinge forward as you fold down. So any arm variation that you would like here, you can either walk your hands, just keeping them down on the mat. You can grab a hold of the big toes. You can clasp your hands behind your back, whatever feels good. I'm just going to keep my hands flat on the floor here. So a really big stretch through the back of our legs. Notice if you're rocking back onto your heels or leaning too far forward onto the balls of the feet. We want to try to keep it evenly distributed. And lifting up, flat back. Bring your hands to your hips, micro bend in the knees, push into the feet to come all the way up, and we'll stand at the top of the mat into this mountain pose. And because this is a stretchy class, just tuck chin to chest, nose to navel, roll all the way down. And once you're down, you can bend into your knees, setting the hips down on the mat, and we're going to lower ourselves all the way down onto our backs. Coming up into bridge, so have your feet fairly close in towards your seat, hip width distance apart. We're going to rock, tilt the pelvis, push into the feet, squeeze and lift yourself up. And we'll do like big bicycle legs from Pilates. So keep that left leg nice and quiet, and you're going to stretch that right leg all the way up towards the sky. Flex your right foot and extend that leg forward, and then bend the knee into the chest and straighten it up towards the ceiling. So flex and reach, point, bend and stretch. So like you're paddling, finding that big bicycle shape. Do one more. And release the right foot to the mat. Shift the weight. We'll go to the other side. So point through the toes, lift up, flex the foot, reach it forward, and then point as you bend the knee and re-extend up. So flex and reach, and bend, point, extend. One more big bicycle circle from here. So flex, bend, and stretch. Bring that left foot down to the mat and roll all the way down. Let's find a reclined twist. Arms can come out into a little cactus shape. Lift your hips, move them a couple inches over to the right, and let both knees and thighs drop down to the left. Trying to keep that right shoulder anchored down. Sending the breath all the way down to our low belly and low back. Next time you inhale, float the knees back up through to center. We'll twist to the other side so you can move your hips a little bit over to the left before letting both knees drop down to the right. Press down into that left hip, into that left shoulder, I should say. We're trying to stack our left hip on top of our right one. And coming back through to center, we'll take 5 breaths in reclined butterfly, soles of the feet together, knees apart. I'm going to stretch my arms up overhead just to open up through my chest a little bit more. And we're not here too long. I don't like to do too many reclined poses in morning classes, especially at the end of morning classes. That's why we don't do Shavasana, just because I want us to carry the energy up and out to wake us up rather than to put us to sleep. And I have fallen asleep many times in morning yoga classes that were a little bit too relaxing. So take 2 more deep belly breaths here. Now straighten your legs, reach fingertips away from the toes as if you were just waking up in the morning, really feeling out through this length. And we'll come up to take a seat. I'll grab our affirmation for the day. Internally repeating to ourselves, I allow all parts of me to be expressed. I allow all parts of me to be expressed. Let's bring our hands at heart center and we chant Om. Inhale. Thank you so much, everyone. This was day 21, 3 weeks into the challenge. I hope you feel really good. Please do subscribe if you don't already, and I will see you tomorrow for day 22.